Welcome to All Things Moore County, Moore County's weekly radio show highlighting the many facets of the Sandhills. That includes real estate, lifestyle, community and neighborhoods. And now from 4 Properties, here's your host, Bill Sahadi.
Good morning and welcome to the talk show, All Things Moore County. Dorothy, we've had a couple of shows of some timely events the last couple of weeks, and it is not a small coincidence that so many of the shows have to do with the arts.
We do a lot of those shows.
People contact us about the arts. Mm-hmm. We are wide open to it. We let the subject matters kind of fall where they may. But if I read somewhere, this is Arts in the School Month. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Well, anyway, we are going to be spending the hour today talking all about the Pinecrest Players, about their history, some of their past productions, and an upcoming production on Friday, March the 17th, Saturday the 18th, and Sunday, March 19th. Disney's Freaky Friday is going to be performed at the R.E. Lee Auditorium. To talk about not just the event of the production, but to talk a little bit about Pinecrest Players, we have 2 former guests on the show. I think Adam Faw, who is the Theater Arts Director and the Fine Arts Department Chair, and Kirsten Foyles. Listen to this title. She's a vocal director. She's a first bank attorney. She's a choral director. She's a teacher, a coach, a mentor, and a role model. Now the show's over because we've just eaten up all the time. Kirsten has been a past guest on the show. I can't help it. You make me smile when you come in. Good morning.
Thank you, Bill.
Good morning, Adam. How are you?
I'm well.
Adam, I think the last time you were on was in conjunction with the production you did for the Addams Family.
Actually, there was one just after that.
Okay.
The last time I was on was a little bit before Matilda.
Oh, right before COVID.
Which was the show that was not able to happen because we were scheduled to open March 20th, 2020, and then, as everyone remembers, March 13th, the world shut down, and yeah.
You're right. Matilda was the last one, but we did have some of the cast members from the Addams Family on.
Yes.
And I've always enjoyed the students. Mm-hmm. They make for the great best guests. They're not layered. They're very open. And today we're going to have the privilege of speaking with 4 of the actresses who are going to appear in Freaky Friday.
Yes, that's correct.
For people like me who live under a stone, can you go back and give us a synopsis? Because I believe that came out as a movie in 2003, but Freaky Friday had been in existence well before that.
Yes. So originally it was a novel. I don't remember when, and there was a movie version made in the 1960s, 70s, somewhere there. There was an older movie. Then there was the movie that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis, which is the one that most of, at least my generation, is aware of. And then this was made into a stage musical in, I believe, 2016, if I'm remembering the year correctly. And then they took that stage musical and adapted it into a movie musical, which came out in 2018, I believe, and is still available to see on Disney+.
So the movie that came out in 2003 was not a musical. It was
correct.
It was a comedy.
Yes.
And tell us the Cliff Notes version of the story of
Sure.
Freaky Friday.
Well, they've adapted the story a little bit between the different movies, but the basics of the musical, at least, is that the 2 primary characters are Ellie and Katherine. And Ellie is the daughter. She is a teenager, high school age, typical rebellious teenager, as you might say. And Katherine is the mother. She is a single mother at this point. She is widowed. Her husband had passed away a few years earlier. And the kind of, I guess, starting conflict is that she is planning to get remarried actually the very next day that the show opens, and Ellie is struggling with that.
The daughter.
Yes, sorry. The daughter is
Okay.
is struggling with that, doesn't want her father to be replaced, to be forgotten. Understandable. And the part of the story that most everyone knows is that, magically, the two characters switch bodies, basically.
Right.
In the musical, they get into an argument. They grab a hold of an hourglass that their father had left, and the lights flash and the music plays, and they magically switch consciousnesses.
Okay.
And they basically spend the rest of the day, that Friday, as each other, learning about, trying to play the part of each other, but each of them think that, Ellie thinks, my mom has life so easily, she just does this, and Katherine, who's the mother, thinks, I can go to school, everyone there wants to learn, I want to learn, and of course, hilarity and hijinks ensue.
Sounds to me like it's a play or a production where the mothers and the daughters or the fathers and the sons can talk after the show.
Yes.
And compare notes.
Yes.
And you know how kids challenge their parents all the time, right?
Yes.
Well, the parents have to be on their toes, ready to react.
Yes.
Okay. It reminds me, as you're speaking, of that early Tom Hanks movie where do you remember the movie?
Big.
That's it.
Yep.
I mean, that was one of his very first movies,
Yeah.
where he became the father and the father became the son, and
No, he just he was the little boy still, but he was in a grown-up body.
that's it.
Basically.
That's okay. That's what it is. And so now it's going to be a musical. And Kirsten, you have since your daughters have all graduated Pinecrest, and they have all gone to college, and I guess Keegan to law school, they all have a very firm foot in the musical ground that you have provided. But you continue to work with the students that are coming up behind them as a vocal director. And, maybe you have 25 children of your own. It's not just the 3 that we know.
It's kind of like that on musical days. No,
Yes.
I beg Adam Faw to let me work on the musical each year. I love working with these students. It's my favorite thing of the year.
And she doesn't have to beg. I'm very, very happy to have her doing this. It's wonderful working with her.
How do you find the time with everything else you have
Smoke
going
and mirrors, Bill.
Really? Really?
No, I mean, I get the music in October, so I'm already working through it. But by the time we have auditions, I've been through the whole score multiple times. And so it's just, whenever I have moments, I just work on it. And then scheduling the time with the students is never a problem because I love it.
Yeah. How many productions have the two of you worked on together?
Matilda
This
was
is
her
my fourth.
first, right?
Yeah.
So this would be the 4th musical. Yes.
Yes.
You've been teaching at Pinecrest for 20 years.
This is my 20th. Yes.
You made a note of that. That was sort of like a landmark or a benchmark, wasn't it?
Well, it still feels odd to me to say that. Kirsten and I were kind of joking that I do. There's plenty of times that I still feel like the new kid. That I still feel like that I don't know what I'm doing. That I'm just making everything up as I go. And then I stop and look at the number of years, the number of musicals. I was like, wow, this is 20 years.
There'll come a time when you're going to wake up one morning and you're going to look at your 20 years or 20 plus years, and all of a sudden it's going to hit you that you've had an impact on a whole generation of kids that you may not even be aware of while you're doing what you do. And they take that with them. Think back to your college days. Do you remember, even before that, your teachers, your coaches, your mentors?
Yes, there's definitely a few professors from college, a couple of directors whose styles, whose personalities I definitely took a lot from, and a couple of very impactful high school teachers. I definitely remember them well.
But when you're doing it, you're not thinking about that. You're just thinking about developing the kids, giving them the courage, giving them the ability to perform and grow.
And maintaining my own sanity as well. I love what I do, but I am very thankful for Kirsten and for our assistant director Jamie Barnes and our instrumental director Drew Creech. This is a wonderful team working on this. And I have two kids of my own who are a little bit younger than Kirsten's. My oldest is 6 years old, Anthony, and my youngest, Jacob, will be 3 years old in just a few days. Mm-hmm. He's literally a COVID baby. So I love doing this, but my time is obviously, I try very hard to spend as much time as possible at home. So being able to share the load is extremely helpful.
Yeah. And recognizing and respecting the privilege and the responsibility that you have and the position that you're in is heady stuff. The arts are such an important part of a student's education and their ability to garner self-confidence in anything that they do. And you know probably better than anybody that not every student that comes through the door that's in a production is going to remain in the arts, but they may take with them for the rest of their lives an appreciation of the arts.
I absolutely. I couldn't agree more. We certainly have students who do go on to pursue a career in the arts, but the truth of it is there's just not that many jobs out there.
I saw a great YouTube video of Bradley Gibson.
Yes.
Announcing at the reveal.
Mm-hmm.
For those who may not know, can you tell us a little bit about your experiences with him as a student and where he is today?
Sure. Bradley Gibson was a Pinecrest, or is a Pinecrest Players alumni. He graduated in 2009. He worked on multiple shows, multiple musicals with us. He was our Beast when we did Beauty and the Beast. His senior show, he was our lead in Crazy for You, which is a very dance-heavy musical. He went straight from Pinecrest to study musical theater at Boston Conservatory, and has done a couple of Broadway shows. Right out of the gate, he was in the ensemble of Rocky, the musical, based on the Sylvester Stallone boxing movie. It actually was a musical. It didn't last on Broadway very long, but I was fortunate to see it, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. He was in A Bronx Tale on Broadway and has done quite a few other things, has a Netflix series, and currently is headlining a show of Disney's Hercules at the Paper Mill Playhouse in New Jersey.
Wow. And an alumni.
Yes, and an alumni, absolutely.
You've done quite a few past productions, Guys and Dolls, Hairspray, Seussical. Is it Seussical? Yeah.
Yes.
The musical,
Mm-hmm.
The Addams Family, Tarzan. What do you have coming up beyond the spring season? Can we talk about it?
Yeah, but if you can't see my students in the background that anxiously awaiting, the honest answer is I don't know. Okay. No, and that's the honest answer. I am right now just working on surviving, to say, but just really giving my focus to this year, and I kind of just over the summer, I'll take a break. I'll try to distance a little bit, and then I'll kind of see where we are, and I'll start getting a feel for what else is out there. Some years I'll have an idea early on. I'll have a suggestion or something.
He sounds like Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers, trying to I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into I'm going into a dark room. I'm going to think about it. I mean, let the world wait for him. I have never seen anything like this guy. He just, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you just create more mystery with every answer. Okay, I get it.
Well,
that's part of the fun of it, though.
it is.
It's the
But
mystery.
to be fair, I also love knowing what's out there and trying to find the new shows. This show, Freaky Friday, actually was not even on my radar until a friend of mine, Chase Costin, who is the Union Pines theater teacher. It was the end of this past summer, and we had a meeting between theater teachers, and we were just chatting. And I happened to say, I don't know what musical I'm doing this year. I still have some ideas. And he is an encyclopedia of musicals. He knows everything. And he said, okay, tell me a little bit about yourself and your style. So I talked about a few past shows and what sorts of shows I've enjoyed and things I like. And he says, you should go and look up Freaky Friday. And I said, wait, that's a musical?
Yeah.
He said, yes. So that day I went, I started listening to the music, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So it's just sometimes it's waiting for the right moment and the right inspiration to hit.
The show will kick off at 7 p.m. on Friday, March the 17th. There's another show on Saturday evening at 7, the 18th, and then a 2 o'clock matinee on Sunday at the R.E. Lee Auditorium. We're going to come back in the second set. We're going to speak to some of the cast members of Freaky Friday. We want to get you guys back on the third set. We want to talk about the financing, the donors, the support, the costs of productions, quite a few things. Adam Fong, Kirsten Foyles, big part of Pinecrest Players. We'll be right back. This is All Things Moore County. I like the music. Welcome back. This is All Things Moore County, and we are talking about the Pinecrest Players. And in this set, we get a chance to meet 4 of the actresses who are all Pinecrest students who will be in the production of Freaky Friday, Friday through Sunday, March the 17th through the 19th. There'll be a Friday evening and a Saturday evening show at 7 p.m. and a Sunday matinee at 2 at the R.E. Lee Auditorium. Let me just go around the table and introduce you all. Okay? I'm going to start with you, Tabitha. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome. Tell me about, you're a junior and
I'm a sophomore.
you're a sophomore. So
Yes.
you're the young kid on the block today.
Yes, today I am.
And tell me about the role you're playing.
So I play Torrey. I am the business assistant to Katherine. That's a whole lot of fun.
Katherine, and is this your first production?
No, this is my second production with Pinecrest.
How did you get involved in the program? And why did you get involved in the program?
I did the musicals all through middle school.
Okay.
Ever since I remember, I absolutely loved performing. So that just kind of carried into high school.
Okay. Your mom and dad support, obviously, what you're doing big time, right?
Yes.
That
There's a
helps.
whole lot of running back and forth involved.
Right.
A lot of commitment.
Well, there's a lot of time spent on the production after school,
Yes.
right? You're spending a lot of hours at the school working, and you go home. Does it help you budget your schoolwork better, knowing that you have less time to do your studies and your work because you have a fuller schedule? The answer is yes.
Yes. I'm actually getting in luck recently because I don't have a whole lot of homework these next 2 weeks, thankfully. But
Oh, good.
I'm getting lucky.
To your left is Eliza Hage, who plays the mother, Katherine.
Yes.
So you have one of the roles where, well, tell me about your role and tell me about you.
So, well, I'm Eliza.
Okay.
And the role I play of Katherine, she's kind of, what kids think of a mom, like stereotypical, strict, kind of perfectionist.
Is that what kids think of?
Well, not. I love my mom. If mom, you're watching. But I mean, like, I think from just kind of from the point of view of Ellie, but she's definitely a perfectionist and she wants everything done right. She drives Torrey crazy about it, but she overall just wants what's best for her family.
Right.
And it's kind of interesting being a teen playing a mom because
Yeah.
it's less to relate to.
Well, good moms have to be like field generals, don't they?
Yeah. Mhm.
They have to keep the kids sort of like not caged in, but they want to make sure that all the good influences get in and all the bad influences get out.
Yeah.
And they worry.
Mhm.
I don't know that kids always appreciate how much their parents worry because the parents keep it to themselves. But
Yeah.
as children get older, they look back and they go, oh my gosh, my parents were so patient. I just didn't appreciate it at the time.
Yeah, for sure.
But now you get to play the mom, and you have an interesting role because...
Yeah. I played two characters
Okay.
in one
Okay.
in the show by magic. The mom and the daughter kind of switch consciences. I don't know how to pronounce that, but like
neither did Adam. That's
yeah.
okay.
Well, yeah, maybe it's a Pinecrest Players thing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But we basically switch bodies, kind of a thing. So for most of the show, I play the teenager inside the mom's body, pretending to be the mom,
Right.
trying to act how she thinks.
How many productions have you been in?
I have done I'm a junior, so I've done the 3 at Pinecrest Players, and then I also did with Tabitha the ones in middle school as well. So,
And the inspiration for getting involved in theater?
honestly, growing up, I was like a sports kid. Before middle school, I was like that one kid who played all the different sports. But getting in, it was really started in elementary school. I had a great music teacher, and we went in, and we were doing Lion King that year, and that was like one of my favorite movies growing up. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this out. And I had always been like singing growing up. But I tried it out, and I just loved it. And then I fully immersed myself from then on. So just kind of been involved since then. Yeah.
Your personality comes out as you speak. I see the little nuances with the hands and the smile and the. Yep. Very demonstrative. Very, very good.
Oh.
We're going to keep moving along, and we're going to be saying hello to Briana.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, and you are the daughter that has to play the mother.
Yes, I am.
So you have a dual role as well.
I do, yes. I'm playing 2 characters in one, as well as Eliza.
Is it the most challenging role that you've ever played? I'm assuming that this is not your first production.
No, it's not, and it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. And I was already, like, going into the show, I was already pretty familiar with the show, as many of them can tell you, because whenever the newer one came out in like 2016, I think Fall said, that was the first Freaky Friday that I had ever seen. And I remember as soon as it came out, my sister and I like fell in love with it. We started watching it, and that is when I was first introduced to Freaky Friday.
Okay.
So when he announced that Freaky Friday was the musical, which none of us saw coming, let's put that in. None of us saw Freaky Friday coming, but he announced that was the musical, and I was so excited because I just remembered being in 2016 with my sister, and we just loved it. Like, we were singing along to the songs and everything.
When you tried out for the role, did you have one role in mind that you wanted?
Yes, I did. And I actually had pink hair at the time because I was so connected to Ellie. So I auditioned for Ellie. I wasn't really going into the audition expecting to get her, though.
Okay.
Because I was one of the newer people to the bunch. Like, I haven't been acting as long as most people in the show. But I did go in auditioning for Ellie. That was the role that I had my eyes on.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir.
Moving right along, we're going to go to the head of the table. Caragh, Garry, you actually play 3 roles
Yes, sir.
in the play. Who are your roles?
I play the fish vendor who shows up in the prologue. I play the pastor who marries Katherine and Mike, and I get to play my favorite one, which is Miss Blumen, and she's a sarcastic biology teacher.
Why is she Why is she the favorite part? Because of the sarcasm?
Yes.
You like comedy?
Queen of sarcasm.
Facial expressions too.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
The eye rolls.
Is she the most expressive of the 3 characters?
I would say she's the character who hits closest to home for me,
Okay.
and she's the easiest one to tap into. Being
Okay.
a happy-go-lucky pastor isn't normally my forte.
How many productions have you done prior to this one?
I've done all 3 at Pinecrest. I did Lion King with Eliza.
Oh, geez.
And then I kind of came back in 9th grade. I disappeared for a while.
Okay, but you came back,
Yes, sir.
and you're here today. Okay, and you're going to be there next weekend.
Yes.
Okay, we hope so. We want you to be there. What? Tell me just a general question to the 4 of you, and anyone can answer the question. Tell me about the camaraderie, and tell me about the spirit of cooperation, where you guys have each other's backs in executing the production. Is that a real thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of chemistry throughout the whole cast, and that definitely helps a lot when everybody is easily able to get along with one another. It's like one big family, pretty much.
Yeah. And you don't feel bad if you make mistakes or anything.
Yeah.
They just laugh with you and keep going on.
Is it you guys are like kind of like a team?
Yeah.
Like you have the same common goal,
Mm-hmm.
and you've performed in other productions together, so you know each other well. So you know each other's strengths. Maybe you know each other's insecurities, but you try to help each other get through, push it forward. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
So you know what that means? That bond that you formed will stay with you after the productions are over,
That's
right?
why I come back.
That's why you come back.
Yes.
So there's a sense of purpose. There's a sense of belonging. There's a sense of accomplishment. What about a sense of appreciation for the opportunity to be able to do this?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Pinecrest is such a great theater program. I mean, there's so many different opportunities, not just including the musical, because I think this year we're in a class together. We've gone to competition. We've done different workshops. Like, it's really a great opportunity. And the shows that we put on we have an amazing auditorium space, and then
Yeah, you do.
the lighting, like we have a great group of technicians, and just people who really support the, Pinecrest players.
Yeah, and it's definitely a very welcoming atmosphere, not just with the directors, but also everybody that decides to join the Pinecrest players.
Yeah.
Because I remember, as a personal experience, 9th grade year, I had never been introduced to theater before. Like, I knew not a single thing about it. I had never gone to any productions or anything. I just watched TV. And like Eliza, I was all about sports. That's what I was doing prior to high school. And I joined the beginning theater class that Pinecrest offered my freshman year, and I wasn't expecting to really enjoy it as much as I did, but because of the atmosphere of Pinecrest players and the people that I met, and also Mr. Fall, I was able to find my niche there, and that's why I'm still doing it, because of that class.
Because of Mr. Fall.
Yeah, and everybody that's in there.
Okay. Caragh, you were listening. I thought you had something you were going to say.
I say I do have a really great appreciation for the talent that some of these people, like Eliza and Briana, they're amazing. Like, getting to watch them and their chemistry, I have an appreciation that it never feels like a high school show because we're surrounded by so much talent.
Right. And so you've got good coaches, Mr. Faw, Kirsten Foyles, the musical director. Have they? Are they inspiring? Are they? I mean, to me, they look like they're great role models, both of them.
Yeah.
Yes,
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we agree.
Yes.
We're going to elect them for president of the United States.
Kirsten would probably find time. I don't know how she finds time in her
Yeah,
schedule.
I asked
she
her
would,
that question.
She would. She
One
already
more
runs
thing.
the whole section of Moore County.
Yeah,
basically.
pretty much.
Do you guys get some of the alumni who come back? It's a tightly knit group.
Yeah.
So some of the students that have graduated will come back and support
Oh,
your,
yes.
your
Oh,
efforts.
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
of
They're the
course.
best audience members.
They
Yes.
come not even to just the musicals, like even class productions that we do, or like whenever we had NCTC and we performed our production for NCTC at Pinecrest, they came to see that. So their support continues.
Yeah. They'll even come to just rehearsals,
Oh,
just to hang out.
Yeah.
Not even to watch something. We'll put it together and be like, "What? We don't want you to see this yet," but
Yeah.
they'll come anyways.
Okay, so in about 2 years, for some of you, maybe 3 for you, perhaps college is going to be in your future plans. Are you hoping to continue a career in the theater and the arts? Tabitha, I'll start with you.
I've been playing around with the idea of being something to do with film. So director or screenwriter or actually acting.
Okay. So it's in your blood, a little bit. Kinda.
Intention, yeah.
It's in you. Oh, good. I like that word. It's your intention. That's good.
Yeah.
Eliza?
So yeah, I definitely think I want to do something involving theater, whether it's actual musical theater or something more along the lines of, public speaking or being. I think So it's either between like theater or being kind of like a reporter or something after college. So something theatrical based.
Yeah. Brianna? You could all be on the debate team too, by the way. Every one of you. You all have very strong conviction. Okay.
Yes, I would like to continue acting after high school and after college as well. I would like to continue musical theater, but also start film acting, and then maybe some directing here and there as well. So I would definitely like to continue.
If you do all of that, you'll have the same time issues that Miss Foyles has.
Oh, yes. I will definitely have some time management that would have to put into play, but...
Are you the oldest or youngest in your family?
I am the oldest.
Surprise, surprise.
Yes. But luckily, I'm getting in some of that time management with Freaky Friday, doing also costumes for it. So, yeah.
Caragh?
I do not want to go into musical theater, which as much as I love it, it's not me.
Okay.
But the lessons in confidence and camaraderie and how to be yourself and someone else will be lessons I take with me forever, especially given by Fa and Kirsten. They've showed me what it's like to still have that joy in life and still do something, but it not be your whole life.
Wow, I love that answer. Yeah, so you're an old soul. How do you have that perspective at such a young age? That's a very good perspective, by the way, to have.
Cheers, Caragh.
And no, it is. I can imagine that your parents probably all have to like put on a pair of sneakers when they sit down to talk and reason with you about things, because you're going to be feisty and you're going to come back at them and you're going to go, now listen, folks, you need to understand where I'm coming from. You need to understand my soul and you need to understand my intention, right? You're not afraid to, you stand up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're making a face like, well, I don't want to say.
Oh, here comes another face.
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah, I stand up. I like talk to my parents, but
Yeah. You give them a time of day a little bit.
yeah, just
Me and my
a little bit.
me and my parents are pretty close, so it doesn't take a whole lot to understand each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't take.
Good for you. You're also an old soul, aren't you? I think you are.
They're best friends. If you
Wait,
can't
yeah,
tell.
there's a reason why we're sitting across the table from each other.
Well, listen, I want all of you to break a leg, as they say, enjoy the experience, enjoy the coaching that you've had. And you have 3 shows, so you also get a chance to improve each show, right? You can critique yourself, and you probably are your own worst critics, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need them to tell you that you did
Nope.
something.
Yeah.
Do not need them to tell me when I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed talking to all 4 of you. Thank you for joining us today. Good luck next week.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
This is All Things Moore County. We'll be right back. Welcome back to our final set of All Things Moore County. The Pinecrest players are having their production of Freaky Friday through Sunday, March the 17th through the 19th, 7 p.m. on Friday, 7 p.m. on Saturday, and a 2 p.m. matinee on Sunday at the R.E. Lee Auditorium. We just had the privilege of speaking to 4 really very engaging. They were so likable. I just enjoyed the conversation with them where I didn't even have to look at a note. It was just and they were all engaged. And I couldn't have done that at their age. I couldn't have done it.
I don't think I could have either. No.
I would have.
But they're so fun.
I'd have grunted and looked at my feet and taken my shoulders down low, and that was like my posture. These kids are like on the balls of their feet. You should be very proud of them.
We are.
Yeah.
Very.
And the other thing that I liked, they all genuinely like each other. They all support each other. It is very uplifting.
It's one of the neatest things about getting to stand somewhat on the outside and watch the cast is watching them create that bond each year, because each year it's different kids, and they're just so supportive to each other.
I agree. I've done a lot of different sorts of things, different arts. I actually was an athlete when I was in high school. I wrestled. I played football, and I love that as well. And I love that bond. But there's just something unique about a bond with theater, with a play. It's that you spend so much time together and you get to know each other because you're being vulnerable on stage. You're putting yourself out there. But there's just some kind of a connection with that is just unlike anything else.
I have to ask you, the cost of productions are not something to be taken lightly. I mean, musicals are also more expensive, aren't they, than just situational plays with?
Yes. Musicals, right off the bat, just the rights and royalties are more expensive. We will spend $5,000 on royalties and script rentals before we ever put a single costume or a light on stage. This year, our costs are going to run somewhere in the realm of $20,000, maybe a little bit more, depending, which is actually a little on the low end for some musicals that we've done. Yes, they are certainly expensive.
So talk to me about how you generate the funds to put these productions on.
Sure. Well, there's ticket sales, obviously, but we try to keep our ticket prices reasonable for parents and families. Our tickets are $15. We've talked about going above that, but so many families come back multiple times that, again, we want to keep it reasonable. So ticket sales alone don't cover the costs, and we don't want to charge a fee to the students. We want this to be accessible to anybody who wants to do it at any time. So we really push our fundraising and our sponsorship efforts very, very hard every year. If
you wind up at the end of a production and you look back and you look at the numbers and the budget and you broke even.
Oh, if
that's
we
a reason to go out to dinner.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. It's so hard to estimate ticket sales and figuring out the final costs and everything ahead of time. So we do our best to ballpark it. But yes, if we don't lose money, we are very happy.
So there is a link. Is there a link that you have set up for people who do want to donate?
Yes, absolutely. For anyone who would like to donate or sponsor the musical, the link is right off of our website, pinecrestplayers.com. It's the very first thing. There's a button there. We have multiple levels of sponsorship or just donation at whatever level someone would want to. We have a lot of sponsors at the $25 level that goes all the way up through our highest level sponsorship. The Director Circle, we have a couple, we have a few wonderful sponsors. Sandhills Repertory Theater is one of our Director Circle sponsors. First Bank and First Health are also both sponsors. They've done different in-kind sponsorships, so that is extremely helpful and we greatly appreciate. But we are still working towards meeting our fundraising goals, so anything that can be done, anything that someone would like to, pinecrestplayers.com, and the link is right there.
Yeah. It definitely takes a village. And
absolutely.
I know, Kirsten, your daughters were involved in many productions while they were in school here, and the parents become an integral part of the program's success. It's the support of the parents, perhaps financially, perhaps just to be there. I think all the kids in the second set spoke about their parent support.
It is. It's a family gig. Because you, as they said, you're shuttling kids back and forth, you're bringing snacks, you're sending out emails to your friends saying, hey, will you sponsor this show? You know, the parents are really involved. And a lot of them are members of our booster club. And so they do a lot for Pinecrest players throughout the year.
Yeah. I think Eliza said it in the second set about what a great program Pinecrest has. And what it offers a student beyond their formal education. It just gives them a more well-rounded basis. You're creating indelible memories for these kids as they go through college and as they get out. And when they have kids, putting the arts first and foremost is a very important stamp that you're making. You've had 20 years worth of practice.
Yes, and I certainly didn't start out where I am. It was a large learning curve, especially the first few years. But even today, I'm always learning and adapting my teaching style, and I hope I always am.
Parents need to know that Pinecrest provides a great environment for students who want to go beyond just sports, the traditional sports, that there are other areas of creativity that they can flourish and blossom in. It creates a great learning environment, preparing them for college.
It's something a large high school can offer so many things. I mean, the debate team is award-winning, the musical and theater departments, the art department. There's just so many opportunities for these kids, and that's the benefit of a very large high school.
Yeah. I'm really glad you guys come on and do this. I want people to get a load of how talented these kids are. I think once this podcast is posted, I'm going to go right to the second set. And no offense to either one of you.
No offense taken. None at all.
And I'm going to go ahead and just watch those four young ladies. They were smart. They were glib. They were funny.
Wait till you see them on stage.
So likable, all four of them. I mean, and different personalities, but that's terrific. Pinecrest Players will be at the Robert or R.E. Lee Auditorium. I can't help it. I have to go back to that old name.
It's okay.
Friday, March the 17th at 7 p.m. Saturday, March the 18th at 7, and a Sunday afternoon matinee at 2 p.m. We wish you guys the best of luck. And you're always welcome to come back on the show. You're always welcome to bring some of your students. They're very enjoyable to speak with.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
Thanks,
Thank
Adam.
you, Bill. We'll see you at the show.
You will. Thanks, Kirsten. Thank you both. This is All Things Moore County. Have a great week. Thank you.